Army divided. Did Jungkook's Balenciaga look just expose hidden tension with his previous brand? Or is the internet overreacting? What if a single outfit could shake an entire global fandom? What if one hoodie, one pair of oversized sweatpants, and one unbothered walk through the night could spark a worldwide debate about loyalty, contracts, and silent messages hidden inside fashion choices? And what if Jungkook, without speaking even one word, accidentally ignited the most unexpected controversy of the year? These are the questions millions of fans found themselves asking after Jungkook stepped out in a full Balenciaga look, a dark and deliberately chaotic styling choice that immediately went viral. It wasn't the first time Jungkook broke the internet. It wasn't even the 10th. But this time, the reaction was different. Instead of unified praise, the fandom split right down the middle, turning a simple candid appearance into a battlefield of theories, emotions, accusations, and confusion. Why did this outfit matter so much? Why did this moment feel heavier, deeper, and more meaningful than a typical celebrity street-style photo? And why did even fashion analysts suddenly begin weighing in, claiming that Jungkook's look was too intentional, too symbolic, too risky to be random? To understand why the world reacted the way it did, we have to go back to the moment the first images appeared. Jungkook emerged in an inside-out black Balenciaga hoodie paired with oversized sweatpants, a silhouette so distinctly Balenciaga that even those unfamiliar with high fashion recognized it instantly. The look was raw, undone, rebellious, exactly the type of outfit that suggests disruption rather than conformity. And while many fans praised it immediately, calling him a trendsetter, a fashion icon, and someone who elevates even the most chaotic pieces into a visual statement, another side of the fandom felt something else: suspicion. Comments began surfacing. Screenshots spread. Sudden whispers turned into public conversation. Some fans asked whether Jungkook was signaling the end of his connection with his previous luxury brand. Others claimed that his Balenciaga moment was too perfectly timed, too dramatically styled, to be just a coincidence. And then came the rumor that set the internet ablaze, that just weeks before the viral Balenciaga appearance, negotiations with another major brand reportedly hit a wall. Was Jungkook's wardrobe choice a quiet message? Was he making a statement the industry would understand even if fans didn't? Was this his version of drawing a line without needing to say a single word? That was all it took for speculation to explode. Fashion forums began picking apart the look. Analysts on social media suggested that Jungkook's styling was deliberate, almost strategic, as if carefully crafted to send a signal to the fashion industry. One well-known stylist even commented that Jungkook's choices are calculated. Nothing he wears is accidental. Suddenly, the narrative shifted from what is Jungkook wearing to why is he wearing it now. But while one side of ARMY was connecting dots and building theories, the other side pushed back with equal force. They argued that Jungkook was simply expressing his personal sense of fashion, that he was a free artist, not a billboard. They insisted that trying to assign political meaning to his clothing was not only extreme, but disrespectful. For them, Jungkook's power lies in his versatility, in the way he transforms any brand into a global phenomenon by simply existing in it. Then something happened that reignited the war between these two factions. Balenciaga's official global team began interacting with posts featuring Jungkook's outfit.
No announcement.
No statement.
No partnership reveal.
Just deliberate, carefully placed engagement. A like on a fan post. A quiet repost. A sudden jump in Balenciaga's interest around the viral images. And suddenly, questions multiplied. Was Balenciaga preparing something? Was this subtle acknowledgement the first step toward a collaboration? Was Jungkook hinting at a transition without saying the words out loud? And if so, what did that mean for his relationship with a previous brand, the one he was rumored to have stalled negotiations with? The timing felt too sharp to ignore.
Too aligned.
Too dramatic. But maybe that's exactly what made it so fascinating. Because the truth about Jungkook is simple. Whenever he wears something, the world pays attention. Fashion houses track his every move. Fans dissect every detail. Brands know that being associated with Jungkook isn't just beneficial, it's transformative. A hoodie he wears can sell out globally in minutes. A ring he's caught wearing in a blurry video can generate hundreds of headlines. A pair of boots he accidentally kicks during a concert can trend worldwide. And so the moment he stepped out in Balenciaga during a period of rumored fashion tension, it felt like more than a coincidence. It felt like a shift. It felt like a moment that demanded decoding. But is the truth really that dramatic? Is Jungkook sending subliminal messages through his wardrobe choices? Or has the fandom and the fashion world become so magnetized by his influence that they see meaning even where there is none? Maybe the answer lies somewhere in the middle. Maybe Jungkook is simply living his life, choosing what he likes, wearing what he enjoys, unaware that every fabric, every silhouette, every undone stitch is being treated like a paragraph in a bigger story. Or maybe he knows exactly what he's doing, and the silence is part of the message. What we can say with absolute certainty is that this moment marks something new. Jungkook's Balenciaga appearance has already become a cultural conversation, a turning point, perhaps even a prelude to what comes next. Whether it is the beginning of a new partnership or simply a brief exploration of a different aesthetic, the world will be watching whatever follows. Jungkook's next outfit will be analyzed. His next brand interaction will be magnified. His next public appearance may either confirm or erase the theories currently circulating. But until then, one thing remains clear. Jungkook doesn't just wear clothing. He creates curiosity, controversy, and cultural momentum. One hoodie has caused a global divide. One candid moment has become a fashion event. And one unanswered question remains hovering above everything like a storm cloud waiting to break. Did Jungkook just start a new era with Balenciaga? Or did the internet create an era out of thin air? The deeper you look into the aftermath of Jungkook's Balenciaga moment, the more the entire situation begins to resemble a slow-burning mystery, one unfolding in real time, in front of millions of witnesses who don't even agree on what they're witnessing. And perhaps that is the most captivating part of all. No one knows which theory will eventually be proven true, yet everyone feels certain that something significant has shifted beneath the surface. As the hours turned into days following the viral photos, it became increasingly clear that this wasn't a fleeting trend or a forgettable moment. Instead, it began to morph into a narrative of its own, a storyline that refused to die, fueled not by confirmation, but by silence. Silence from Jungkook. Silence from Balenciaga. Silence from his previous brand. And silence, in the world of global pop icons, is rarely meaningless. Silence itself becomes a language, an unspoken statement that fans, critics, and industry insiders rush to interpret, decode, and reshape. What is the meaning behind that silence? Is it strategic caution, forced confidentiality, or simply coincidence? Could it be that the truth is being held back until the perfect moment? Or is the truth so simple that revealing it now would ruin the excitement? What makes this moment even more electrifying is how the world outside ARMY is reacting. Fashion journalists have started publishing think pieces analyzing Jungkook's evolving style identity. Marketing experts debate the potential implications of sudden brand shifts by a global figure of his magnitude. Even rival fandoms are watching from the sidelines, some with curiosity, others with envy, because whether they like it or not, Jungkook's influence is a level of cultural gravity almost no one else possesses in the current entertainment landscape. And then there is the undeniable power of the visuals themselves. Those candid photos, in perfect lighting, unedited, raw, honest, somehow carried an energy that perfectly aligned with Balenciaga's signature image. The inside-out hoodie looked defiant, almost confrontational, as if it was crafted to challenge norms rather than fit into them. And Jungkook wore it not like someone trying to impress the world, but like someone who had already stopped caring whether the world approved. That effortless rebellion, that subtle detachment, that aura of not needing validation, those qualities are precisely what luxury fashion houses spend millions trying to create. Jungkook delivered it naturally by simply existing in front of a camera. That natural confidence, the reason Balenciaga's team reacted so quickly. Did they recognize the cultural gold sitting right in front of them? Or had something already been in motion behind the scenes, something that fans were only beginning to notice when the photos surfaced? Rumors of quiet brand conversations grew louder. Some claimed that Balenciaga had been eyeing Jungkook for months, waiting for the right time to align with him. Others speculated that the stalled negotiations with his previous brand created a perfect opening for Balenciaga to step in. A few even suggested that Jungkook's team was taking a freedom-first approach, allowing him to explore and experiment without being tied to long-term commitments. But the most intriguing theory, the one that sent entire timelines spiraling, was the idea that Jungkook's Balenciaga moment wasn't spontaneous, that it was staged. Not in a forced, scripted way, but in a carefully orchestrated, subtly executed manner. A moment that appears candid, but is designed with purpose. A moment that feels natural, but is aligned with a larger narrative. Could that be the truth? Could Jungkook's look have been a carefully crafted signal, not to fans, but to the fashion industry watching him with hawk-like intensity? Or is that giving too much credit to coincidence and too little to the fact that Jungkook genuinely enjoys dressing the way he wants? Fan arguments grew heated as these questions intensified. One side insisted that Jungkook was asserting independence, refusing to be boxed in by single brand loyalty. The other side believed he was transitioning deliberately, using fashion as a quiet yet powerful storytelling tool. And still another faction suggested that Jungkook had no intention of sending a message at all. He was simply wearing what he liked, as he always has. But that explanation stopped holding ground when the Balenciaga interactions began increasing. The brand's official accounts did not just interact once. They continued engaging with Jungkook-related posts for several days, a rare behavior for a luxury house known for being selective and restrained. Some fans described the pattern as flirting. Others described it as confirmation. Some even compared it to a silent handshake between Jungkook and the brand, an acknowledgement that both sides knew something the public did not. But if something truly was brewing between Jungkook and Balenciaga, why not announce it? Why not capitalize on the worldwide buzz instantly? Why let the fans spin theories while the industry holds its breath? The most logical explanation is also the most tantalizing, because whatever is coming might be bigger than anyone expects. Luxury houses rarely build hype through silence unless they are preparing to unveil something impactful, something that requires precision timing and global strategy. If Balenciaga truly intends to collaborate with Jungkook, the rollout will not be rushed. It will be engineered, calculated, and designed to dominate headlines. Which brings us back to the unanswered question, what about the previous brand? The one associated with rumors of stalled negotiations? Why have they remained fully silent throughout this entire conversation? What prevented them from releasing even a brief statement to clarify their position, correct misunderstandings, or stabilize their image? Was the silence a sign of retreat, a sign of internal conflict, or a sign that negotiations didn't stall, they ended? Fans on both sides of the debate began scouring every detail, searching for hints. Old campaign photos resurfaced. Speculation spread about behind-the-scenes disagreements. Analysts pointed out sudden shifts in the brand's posting behavior. Some fans insisted there had been no conflict at all, simply a natural end to a contract. Others refused to believe it was that simple. Why would a contract end quietly? Why would a brand willingly let go of someone who generates instant revenue, massive visibility, and cultural impact without even trying? Unless the choice wasn't the brand's to make. Unless Jungkook had decided to step away. Unless the Balenciaga moment was his quiet declaration of freedom. And yet, even that explanation felt incomplete. Because if Jungkook was stepping away, why do it so subtly? Why not sign with another brand immediately and close the chapter cleanly? The real answer might be that Jungkook is not rushing into anything because he doesn't need to. He is one of the rare global stars whose influence is strong enough to exist outside the typical system. He doesn't need a brand to define him. Brands need him to stay relevant. So maybe the real message in the Balenciaga moment was not about shifting loyalties, hidden conflict, or coded signals. Maybe it was something far bolder. Maybe Jungkook was reminding the world that he holds the power, that he wears brands, they don't wear him, that he chooses them, they don't choose him, that his influence stands alone, untouched, intact, and unstoppable. As the dust continues to swirl around this controversy, the world waits for his next appearance. Will he wear Balenciaga again, deepening the mystery and feeding the rumors? Will he return to his previous brand, snapping the tension like a rubber band? Will he introduce an entirely new brand into the narrative, throwing fans into yet another spiral of questions and theories? Or will he appear in something so unexpected that it turns the entire conversation upside down once more? Every possibility feels equally real, equally dramatic, equally explosive. And that is precisely why the world is watching with such intensity.